Hey all, SMK here. We have all seen glimpses of most of the maps we are going to get when Battlefield 2042 releases in October. But did you know that all 7 maps are based on real life locations? And I'm not simply talking about loosely based either, they are unbelievably close to the real thing, but with a more futuristic feel to them. During the video I will also have text on screen going deeper into the actual location. Feel free to read that at your own leisure, I will not be actually saying it out loud. I will also speculate on a few things at the end of each location, as I feel it will give clues of what is to come in each map. Let's get started. First up is the Manifest map, and that is based on Branny Island in Singapore. We never really get much of an overview of the Manifest map, but from the footage we see in the trailer, you can clearly tell it is a huge shipping container yard, and that is exactly what Branny Island is, plus more, which I will discuss later on. But the similarities go far deeper than it simply being, both being shipping yards. Have a look at this image. Notice how you've got both green as well as yellow coloured cranes along the shoreline here. Well, when we are first introduced to the Manifest map, just before the ambush, we can see a green crane in the background past the containers, and then near the very end, we can also see yellow cranes above also. These have additional red markings on them, but they're still very like the yellow ones. Very nice touch and attention to detail here by DICE. They are very similar. However, these cranes just aren't for looks either. Just like the real thing, they can pick up containers and move them around, changing up the map. I believe this happens randomly as you play, and it isn't always the same. Another similarity also occurs here at the end. In the trailer, just before the explosion, we see a mass of players move into an open long straight. We also get those in the island in real life also, and that leads me to believe that we will have some form of small vehicles being able to move around the island on those also. This map will also feature choppers. Yeah, I know. I found it a bit weird in the beginning also. However, a possible explanation for this is that the island used to have a naval base on it with a helipad, which later became the Coast Guard headquarters. So perhaps that is something we are yet to see. And again, this is where I'm going to start to speculate. There's also a wooded area here that lies between the two container areas, and that is something that may be included also. In fact, I think it's highly likely that that will be the case, as this island is only 1.22 square kilometers, and we already know that there's going to be another map confirmed to be 5.9 square kilometers, 5 times the size. So why not? No reason why it couldn't be included. So fighting could well take place outside of the container yard. Another thing in support of this, let's take a look at that promo screenshot for this map again. Notice anything? Look at all those trees below the chopper. Very interesting, isn't it? The second map we are going to look at is the Breakaway map, which is based in Antarctica in the Norwegian claimed territory of Queen Maud Land. Now this is a vast area, roughly 2.7 million square kilometers of nothing, so finding an exact location is difficult, but I believe it to be in an area in and around the Gruber Mountains. Let's take a look. In the promo shot here we can see the base on top of the mountain, well unfortunately no base at the top of the Gruber Mountains. The only structures in the area are research stations. However, as you can see from the images and video footage, this area does look very similar. What's more, at the base of the Gruber Mountains you have Lake Undersea, which then leads onto a glacier. Remember that part of the trailer when the hovercrafts and other amphibious vehicles appeared? This looks very much like a frozen lake or glacier, don't you think in that? While this may not be the exact location, I feel this is where the developers perhaps got their inspiration from. Now let's speculate about Breakout based on what we know about the real location. What is also interesting about this particular area is that there are many ice caves and caverns. So let's put that into the map. Players could be traversing and battling in ice cave systems also. We also don't yet know what this map's Levolution event is. An avalanche is the obvious one, but remember, part of the Battlefield 2042 story is rising sea levels as a result of global warming. Where does all that extra water come from? The polar ice caps melting. So we're going to be a bit adventurous with this one. What if we see in this map Ice lakes crack open during gameplay and change up the map. Look at the vehicles we have seen so far. The hovercrafts, the amphibious vehicles. They can all work on both land and sea. Once again, pretty interesting, eh? Oh, and one last thing. How could we forget about the penguins? They are there also, both in-game and of course in real life, along with the little chicks. Oh. The third and final map we're going to be looking at in part 1 is Hourglass, which is set in Doha, Qatar. So how does it compare? Pretty damn accurate. Firstly, here's a real life Doha skyline, and here is what we get in game. They have tried to replicate many of the buildings, two in particular in fact. In Doha they are known as the Palm Towers and stand side by side. Here they are in game. Remember the scene in the trailer with the heli taking out all the soldiers on the rooftop? That was the top of one of these towers. You can see the players on top of the other one also in this shot when you look past the quad bike. It also looks like you also might be able to zip line between both of them, which obviously clearly isn't very accurate, but zip line seems to be a big feature in this game and you can do it on mini maps. That isn't all similar though. Back to the initial screenshot, the arches shown here have been taken straight out of Doha also. They are known as Al Wada arches and that is also a playable area also. Then there's also the football stadium that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. There's probably been a few dodgy pronunciations so far already. But this was built for the upcoming World Cup and here it is completely surrounded by sand as a result of all the sandstorms, which we know by now is this map's big Levolution event. On this one folks, I have nothing really to speculate on at this time. So, I hope you really enjoyed this one folks. I actually really enjoyed making this one. I love looking into things. I often pick up on things that many others fail to see. I hope you found it enjoyable knowing a bit more about what these three maps are based on and how similar they are to the real location. Also let me know what you think about my speculations on the first two maps. You think I'm onto something here? Of course, we don't really have to wait that long. The gameplay trailer in a few days' time may reveal everything, but I kind of wanted to have this out here to see how correct I was. Could be completely wrong, could be half right, I don't know. I'm just eager to know what you think about it also, folks. I will have the second part out sometime next week on the final 4 maps, folks. If you enjoyed, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help me out, and we're trying to hit 10k subscribers before Battlefield 2042 releases, so if you could hit that big red button, I'd really appreciate that also, folks. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you again in the next one.